Now, welcome back everyone to I think it's the second episode this is of Random Ramblings. I'm not too sure how I'm going to set this up, but obviously you guys can obviously see. So yeah, let's just cut this rambling out, which is a bit ironic to say. But yeah, in today's video we're just going to talk about, I've called it the outbreak of influencers and the growing issue of children cash cows. But basically, if you want to condense that down, it's basically how parents and children are trying to use themselves to get very cheap and easy views and a very easy lifestyle off of YouTube. So the main thing that sort of has spurred me on to make this video, or this podcast, whatever you want to call it, is I saw this article the other day and it is pretty funny. So basically, in America, I'm not from America by the way if you can't tell, but there's this YouTube summer camp that's been set up. It's not an official YouTube summer camp by the way. It's just like a summer camp that's been set up by an individual, and it's all based around YouTube, and you can send your children there for a few weeks. I'm not too sure how long they go there for, but it's a long time. You send your children there and they learn how to make videos, they learn how to basically mess around with cameras, I guess some simple editing software, both video and audio I'm guessing, and the main thing that sort of stuck out to me was the cost, which is about $1,000 a week, so $4,000 a month. Now, I'm not an expert on the overall cost of one of these summer camps in America. I know if it's got a lot to offer, then, you know, obviously to charge more, it makes sense. But that is an insane amount of money to send your child there to learn YouTube when you can actually use YouTube itself to work out all these things for free. So like if one of the things that they teach there has got to be how to work a camera. You can use YouTube itself. Just type in whatever model of camera you got, even if it's your phone camera, just type that in and you can work out how to do it yourself. You can read a few articles if you don't want to use YouTube, but it applies to everything, like microphone work, if you want to set up soundproofing, if you want to set up like the best sort of mini studio, because not everyone's going to be able to afford a massive studio straight away. But I'm obviously going to gloss over the main thing, because the main thing that you think I was going to talk about, which is it's a stupid idea. But I wanted to go a little bit more in detail about some other stuff. So the main thing that I really wanted to talk about today is basically how this is just a terrible idea for YouTubers general. I'm not saying that YouTube has any involvement in this by the way, but I'm just letting you know that what I think about this is pretty bad for YouTube. So obviously, the more time you spend on YouTube, the more time you actually spend uploading videos, you get to learn the ropes basically. You gain a lot of experience and you basically just gain skills over time. That's how I learn, and I'm guessing that's how pretty much everyone learned. But basically, with this camp going out, or with this camp being set up, it means that people are going there and then they're going to expect to be like famous overnight on YouTube, which is something I'll get into in a couple of minutes. But yeah, the next thing that I was sort of thinking about was obviously a few months ago, I think it was about a year ago now actually, there was obviously the Elsagate situation. I'm not going to get into that, you can look it up on your own. But these sort of camps promote a more heavy child presence on YouTube. Now I do know that I'm guessing a lot of YouTube's audience is children, and that makes complete sense, because it's free. There's tons of content. You don't have to pay for anything. I know I've already said that, but it's just a good option for parents to use. That's if the content is actually good, which obviously in the Elsagate thing was proven not all content is good. But yeah, there are a few issues that have come up on YouTube quite recently that sort of show why having this really, really strong child presence on YouTube probably isn't the best thing, like which this camp is promoting. So obviously there was the Elsagate situation. There was the persistent and recurring like paedophile problems, those videos that keep getting put up. There's like the webcam videos, which I'm not going to get into that, but it's pretty messed up and I wouldn't recommend looking into it. And if you do look into it, just make sure that you're actually like alright after about it. And there's basically certain channels as well. I'm not going to name any names, but you know, they're promoting and causing issues with, you know, perception around children. So I know I wasn't going to say any names, and I'm not going to, but you can pretty much work out who I'm on about. You know, they'll promote their merchandise to their fan base, which is clearly, I'm guessing, below the age of 10, maybe just above the age of 10 at most. And obviously with their merchandise, it's sort of like a catchphrase that they're saying now, because on YouTube everyone says, even I've said it in this video, so like, oh hey guys, remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. That's sort of thrown in with merchandise now. And with it becoming so desensitised over the years, it basically just shows that these creators online who have this massive following, when they try to sell you their merchandise, they're also trying to sort of sell you not a dream of becoming a YouTuber, but it's almost like, oh look, you know, this guy can sell his merchandise to me, you know, that's amazing, I want to be in that sort of position at one point. And then there's obviously, well, it's basically the same creators as well, also play along with the fact that, oh yeah, you know, if you just work hard and play along, you know, sure you can get to where I am with like 20 million subscribers or something in no time at all. And it's sort of like this false perception that, you know, keeps getting given out by these massive creators. And the main point that you can basically say for anything to do with children or child related content on YouTube is everyone at some point in their life, which is pretty much when they're a child, is extremely gullible. So of course, if one teenager gets famous off YouTube, and there's a lot of teenagers, you know, basically any age now from like 10 to 16 or whatever, there's quite a few really popular YouTubers in that sort of age bracket. And when they say, oh yeah guys, you know, you can be very famous like me pretty soon, and yeah, you know, it only takes a little bit of work, if you just stick with it for a year, you can get like me. So when something like this camp comes up, it's almost like I don't know how to describe it exactly, but it's almost like you get given a card that you just get to bypass everything. So you get to bypass all the grind of YouTube, you get to bypass, you know, learning all the ropes, you get to bypass making the actual videos, you just get like thrown in. That's what they're trying to sort of play along. I know I got a bit weird there, or a bit in depth, but trust me, it makes sense, I hope. And the last thing I sort of wanted to mention was, I've been seeing it a lot as well, is these YouTube Kickstarters. Now, I'm sure we all know what Kickstarter is, or Indiegogo, or crowdfunding, as it's pretty much what it's all called. The amount of children that I haven't seen personally, but I've seen like posts about people finding the amount of children asking for like $5,000, $3,000, $1,000, literally any amount of money to get a gaming PC. It's mainly for Fortnite. That's all the things I've seen. It's just getting equipment. It's, you know, basically being able to afford a lifestyle of their favourite YouTuber, which you can't have a go at kids for really, because, you know, they're pretty gullible, like I've already said. But it's just mental that a ton of people now just think that they can totally bypass YouTube, totally bypass everything that sort of YouTube has set up over the years for you to be able to, you know, get a good audience, get good viewer retention, because that's the main thing that makes or breaks a channel really, is viewer retention, and all stuff like that. So I don't really know how to end this, seeing as this is only the second ever version of Random Ramblings. But yeah, I hope you like this, and I'll see you. I should be recording the next podcast on Sunday. That probably doesn't mean anything to you, but this should be going out on the Thursday, the 30th of May, I think it is. So yeah, hopefully see you in the next podcast, and be sure to check out the podcast link down below for the last one.